wanted to dig into the new album, limited edition Lava Lamp, and one of the first singles you guys released was Ego in the Coffin. And what really grabs me about that song was this really cool guitar riff that runs
Mm.
throughout and starts it off. And so I was curious, where did that riff come from? How did you create it for that song?
Thank you for the question. I The thing is, I had half of the riff, and then Tim, the Ledfoot, Tim Scott McConnell, he said, "You're halfway there, Ronnie." So I got up the next morning, and I thought I just want to create a blues riff that nobody heard before, and I think I did that, right? Because it's really strange in a it's really fucking strange. And the B part too, where it goes to the fifth notes, and it's really almost disharmonic, but still within the blues. I think so.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I would call it like different and strange, but familiar at the same time.
I agree,
Yeah, yeah.
100%. So,
So,
so that's what you can expect from Tim. That's going to be 65, five, and I'm 59, right? So that's what you got to expect, because it's always got to be some enhancement of the music we loved when we were young. In my case, it's progressive American jazz, classical music, and British
mhm,
progressive bands, pretty much.
yeah. And then, I mean, speaking of Tim and the fact that this is, a duel, the two of you are collaborating on this.
Mm.
Um, you guys, I would say, are very different guitar players, for one thing. And I'm curious, what's the key to meshing so well? Because you have two distinct guitar personalities. How are you guys able to play at the same time and make it sound so good?
I think it has to do about 15 years together, because he came from America.
Hmm.
And he was fortunate enough to marry one Norwegian woman,
Hmm.
then married the second one that it didn't go that well. And then he said, "Ronnie, can I stay in your studio for a week?" He asked me, "Oh, you're welcome." But then he stayed for 5 years. So we really got close, and I was able to, at least, I can never get rid of my accent, but I've been able to speak American almost every day for 15 years, right?
Yeah.
So we became close friends, and he had a success in America too, with the Javelinas and the Rockettes, and with the Springsteen
Mm,
song,
yeah.
High
Yeah.
Hopes. It was just a great addition to my musical life.
Yeah.
And we're really different guitar players, but we worked together for 15 years now, and I think we fill in each other. you know.
Yeah, yeah. And well, I mean, that does bring up the fact that you're bilingual, but everything on this album is in English.
Mm.
I'm curious, when you're writing for this kind of thing, when if you write lyrics, do you think of them in English, or do you first think of them in Norwegian and then translate?
Like Little Rosie, that was my idea, which was
Hmm.
in Norwegian. It was Lille Rose, Ville Kose. And Tim is able to transfer that stuff into English too. But when I write, I mostly write in the English language, the best I can anyway. you know.
Okay.
Uh,
Wow. All right. Yeah. So you write directly to English, and you.
Directly, I don't. it's like when I speak to you, I don't, think about it in Norwegian and then translate it in my head. I just speak,
Yeah. Okay.
you
All
follow,
right.
it's one-to-one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have there ever been ideas that, because some languages are great at expressing ideas where another one maybe is limited. Have there ever been words, concepts in Norwegian that express a really great idea that there isn't an equivalent English term for?
I would say a lot of things, because if you go on whatever Wikipedia or anything, you will see that the English language is based on the old Norwegian languages. I'll mention some words for you.
Mm-hmm.
Fish, fisk,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Water, vann, etc. You
Yes.
follow me? Egg,
Yes.
egg. All those words come from Norwegian language
Yes.
1500 years ago. So um, I'm just glad that the world is becoming an international world. And I'm thinking if you don't speak English, you're gonna fucking lose either part of the planet. You're
Right.
not gonna get around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you at least you can speak two. I'm an idiot who can barely speak one. So, you're you're way ahead of me in
Yeah,
that.
but it's better to speak one very well than two semi good, right?
Yeah.
So
And then you had this great quote about the making of this album where you said producer H.P. Gunderson pushed the production into landscapes we've never been. And I'm
yeah,
curious, can you describe what those landscapes were?
he's an Americana. I mean, he's completely into Americana with the pedal steel stuff and all that stuff. As of today, I think he's in LA producing, some fairly big artists. So this weird Norwegian guy, and I asked him, could you please come over and produce this album with us? And
Mm-hmm.
he did that, and I think he really added some flavor and also like psychological insight regarding the lyrics and I mean, the whole album was recorded and mixed in 9 days. So we
Yeah.
were just a bunch of people on the same ride because obviously, because of Corona and the fucking Putin,
Yeah.
you know, which
Yeah.
is costing the planet a fucking fortune. This fucking shit.
Yeah.
Think about rebuilding those cities. Grown up people my age, 60 plus.
Mm-hmm.
Man, no, they make a decision of bombing innocent civilians.
Mm.
This is ridiculous, and this
Yeah.
is only from where I live. If I get on a plane, and I think then you understand how close it is. It would be 1 hour and 50-minute flight.
Mm. To
Then I'm
Ukraine.
in then I'm in Kiev. One
Mm.
hour and 50 minutes. This is really close, man. It's
Yeah.
so I think that affected also the album limited edition Lava Lamp.
Yeah.
Uh, so but we did it, and I'm really happy. And Tim is such a trooper, Ledfoot.
Mm-hmm.
The best American artist that lives in Europe now,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
But more American artists are coming in, moving to Spain or whatever. I see that all the time. But like me, if I get wealthy one day, I'm gonna move to Montana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's my dream.
Okay.
It could be small, but that's really,
Yeah.
I,
So
yeah.
in America, but someplace with a lot of space, very
Montana, when I'm off, I'm looking at pictures, and I have friends that studied there and live there, and see pictures. But that kind of rhymes with my background, do you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I really want to tour Montana, Ronni Le Tekrø Montana tour.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you have spoken in past interviews about your solo work and how you were very connected to the environment around you, and you feel like the trees, really, you sense that they are a living organism and not just decoration and stuff. So I can see where Montana would be a natural place for you to call a second home.
I mean, anywhere in America, you know, but I have a strong heart for northern parts of America, including New York, and it's just it has to do something about the plants and the smell and
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah.
But America is so diverse. It's like the whole world in one continent.
Yeah.
You guys, you don't see it because you live there, you know. But for us, it really is. I mean, there's no continent like that. Of course,
Hmm.
it's occupied continent.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
And then, well, I mean, that makes me wonder because again, growing up here, I only had, I had the limited American perspective on music and the music scene, and a
mm,
lot of exposure to American artists and to British artists.
yeah.
And so my knowledge of Norway and their music scene is
Mm,
limited. I'm curious, how would you describe the Norway music scene and how it influenced you and was an advantage to you?
yeah. The Norwegian music scene now, as of 2023, in Billboard and all those magazines, they call Norway like Paris in 1930s.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of electronic rock bands, you know, the black metal scene, the hard rock scene. It's and we're really exporting music. Like in America, we have big artists which are Norwegians: Alan Walker,
Hmm.
Kygo, that electronic shit that comes from Iceland, Norway, right?
Yeah.
But then you have the rock scene too and the jazz scene. So I mean, the entire Norway, all we do is just create music, pretty
Yeah.
much. I mean,
Eh,
uh, and uh, and it's just 5 million people, and 5 million people is just like Queens and Bronx together. Right?
right, right, yeah.
So Iceland is only 500,000 people
Yeah, yeah, no, I know.
that created all those great artists, you know. So I guess it doesn't have to say about something to say about the size of the nation. It's isn't it really some territories they're fucking sleeping with their music politically and spiritually. America is certainly one of them right now.
Hmm.
Not all the artists, some of the best shit still comes out of America, but
Yeah.
I think you got contenders in Europe
Oh yeah.
especially in rock, because rock is mega big in Europe.
Yes,
And
yes.
is it in America anymore? I don't think so.
Um, Not in terms of necessarily chart.
Sales, and events and gigs and festivals. No,
Yeah, not in terms of
uh,
charts, but in terms of shows, sometimes it can be.
sometimes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that, doesn't get you don't hear about in major media, but that have smaller bands.
Man, I think I should move over to your town and
Right.
be a game changer. Don't you agree?
Well, I mean, I think, there's a lot of people that would appreciate what you guys do.
Yeah, but I would really love to come back to America. I spent years of my life there, but
Mm,
just come back, spend a couple of years.
yeah.
So yeah, so you have an extra spare room.
You're right. We do, and we have reasonable rates. So yeah.
That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. I can afford.
All right. Um, with what but I'm curious with your devotion to music, and you have built your own studio
Mm.
just a few steps from your door. besides the fact that it's very
Yeah.
convenient, what was the advantage of creating your own studio, and what did you put into it that was maybe different from other
I'll show you
studios?
that right now. For
Okay.
instance, this stuff,
Yeah. Stack of Marshall amps.
British Marshalls.
Mm-hmm.
You see that stuff,
Yeah. Beautiful.
but it doesn't end, right? So this is what we do. We don't play fucking any Fender shit. We just play Marshall.
And what when you created your studio, what was the, why create one rather than just continue to use
Yeah,
others?
it reached a point in the 80s where I think we overpaid people to do the shit we had to do.
Mm.
So I just want to go further with my music. I went into jazz, progressive stuff with Vagabond, my different projects. So I wanted to build it like American standard, and I think that's what I did.
Yeah. And does it take some of the pressure off knowing you're not, you don't have to pay for, by the hour, that you can just go in whenever creativity hits you?
It never takes pressure off because music craves energy, and
Mm-hmm.
the electricity is at a ridiculous price in
Oh,
Europe, for instance. So you can never win, but it's definitely still here, and it's still a tool for me to create these albums and be free in a sense, right?
yeah, yeah. And then getting back to the album, so another song that stood out was the title track,
Mm.
limited edition Lava Lamp, which is very different from the other
Mm.
songs on the album.
Mm.
It's to me, it struck me as this kind of interesting combination between Pink Floyd and the Electric Light Orchestra, and
Thank you.
yeah, and wonderful stuff. But I'm curious, was there, what led to that different musical direction for that song? Why was that one so different?
That track is really weird because I just kind of wrote it in the morning, and it's just a riff. And
Hmm.
I just changed the bottom notes, and I wrote down some the chords, right?
Hmm.
Made the arrangement with going to the F sharp, the modulation stuff. And the track you hear is the first take we do of the song. All the guys had the score in front of them, and we just played through the stuff.
Oh, wow.
And where I say at the end, it says meltdown. So everything is black. All the sheet music is black. Just play whatever you want, right? Meltdown. So that was interesting. So we never played it once. We just played it not twice. We played it once on the album. Recorded that, and we never played it again.
Oh, wow. And but there's all this other stuff layered onto that, where you hear the
Oh
guy.
yeah. After we did the take, we started the layers, but we just kept the foundation of that track with our fucking cosmetic shit, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But how did you guys come up with, all right, we're going to add this, we're going to add this person talking here and this sound effect there, and
Oh, that was inspired by the Tubes.
oh,
That whole speaking voice.
yeah.
Both me and Timmy love the Tubes.
Mm-hmm.
And of course the Beatles and all that stuff. We just wanted to create a kind of Pink Floyd-ish, Steve Village,
Yeah, yeah,
that Euro fucking weird shit, right?
yeah. But it creates, what a friend of mine used to call theater of the mind, where,
I
it,
agree.
yeah.
Uh,
And
Limited edition lava lamp on sale now.
yes.
You know, low price
Right.
forever, forever.
And then if you're listening to the full album in order, there's a really different switch when you go from the Lava Lamp song into Sister, the cover from the movie Color Purple,
Yeah.
whose idea was it to cover that song?
I have to say me.
Okay.
I've been playing that with myself for a couple of years. Just sitting down. I thought it could be sung one octave below the original, right? So that's pretty much what I did, and made a new intro. Yeah. And some changes.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a very different song to cover. But you stayed pretty much, because I went and found the clip from the movie.
Yeah.
And it's
not far from the
no,
stuff.
no. It is similar, but it is very
Yeah,
interesting when you
I think doing a cover is trying to grasp the energy of the song. Then not being an American, and this is not my native language, your language, right? I think I nailed it within.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely.
So I love it. I really love American music, like or especially 50s music, also dance movies like Top Hat.
Okay.
Those arrangements, I'm like a sucker for American music, 50s, 40s, 50s.
Okay.
That's all I listen to.
Oh, all right.
It's not fucking Johann Sebastian Bach, do you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck that guy.
But it is interesting because what you play doesn't sound necessarily like that. So it's interesting that you hear this and then it gets filtered through you and comes out as something even, your spin on it all is very different.
Isn't that the beauty of music? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm really humble about my role in this whole thing. Do you know? I'm just recording, producing music, releasing albums, and I see where it goes. But I'm coming back to America, brother.
Okay. And then
there's a few gigs already booked next year, March next.
Oh, okay. Where
I mean, I start, of course, Madison Square Garden, Ronni Le Tekrø. I'm kidding. I can't say that to you, but it's some gigs are with TNT, some is with my solo project, right?
Yeah.
So
and then
I'm looking really forward to that 2024. Oh, I'm coming back to America.
Nice.
Eating those American pizza slices. You can't get them, you can't get them over here.
Oh.
No, there's no way, and you can't get a milkshake at the same quality.
No.
Think about that. You can go to Europe, you will never find a milkshake of American quality.
Yeah.
And then we can continue burgers.
Yeah.
Chicken wings.
Okay, you like those?
Yeah, everything Italian food.
Oh, yeah.
Linguine, blah 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 blah. All that stuff. So that's why America was God's experiment. Yeah. And it has to work. It can't fall. If America falls, the civilized world falls, right? Yeah,
right.
But that's true. It's true.
Although that could also be why most of us are fatter than the people in Scandinavia,
No, you're not. You used to be, but that's not the case anymore.
And then you brought up TNT, where a lot of people got to know you initially, and this album very different from your work with TNT. I'm curious, you've been at this for a while. How are you different as a guitar player?
I think I can pretty much play all that old TNT music. They're pretty much the same, like Black Sabbath could or Maiden.
Yeah.
As a musician, I'm just I know I just accepted the fact that I'm not ever going to be first division in our rock, like Iron Maiden or Black Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always going to be second division. And then I chose to follow the music instead of the money. So that's what I've been doing for the last 15 years. I don't give a shit. I just want to pay the bills, be full,
Yeah.
and have a creative life. And then I'm content. The history books can tell the story about me, right?
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that takes care of all of my questions. Is there anything we didn't talk about that you want to talk about?
I don't think so. It's a real pleasure talking to you, sir. And I
Yes.
hope to see you in 2024 at least.
Yes. Yes. Please.
So which part of the States do you live?
I currently live in North Carolina.
North Carolina. And when I first came to the New York City, they said the best weed is North Carolina killer weed.
It's nice here, and we have a pretty good music scene with you know, a lot of different sized venues. So yeah, hopefully you can.
Is it really green and fruitful in North Carolina?
It is. It is. Yeah.
That's not a desert, is it? Like
No,
it's
no, no. A little bit. Well, we have it's on the coast, so there's part that's on the ocean,
I've
and then
seen that.
there's part that's it's hilly, mountainous. You
Right.
know, actually, it might have a little bit of a Scandinavian quality to some of the mountains
Yeah,
and
but you
hills.
have big woods, big forests, don't you?
Some, yeah,
So some parts cool.
yeah, yeah.
But really nice talking to you.
Yes.
Thank you for interviewing me and showing respect for the music.
Oh yeah, no, I love it, and I wish you the best with this album, and thanks for taking the time. And yeah, if you come through, we'll go get a pizza together.
Definitely North Carolina. Here I come.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very
Take care, my
much.
friend. Take care.
Okay.